Welcome back to Once Driven Forever Smitten. On the agenda today is I'm going to drive to Reading because I need to pick up a truck tomorrow and then run it up to Barnsley, and in between that I need to do a couple of photo shoots for my day job as editor of Truck and Driver magazine. Was going to take the Omega, but then I forgot to order a set of brake pads for it, and they're about the size of after 8s, so I thought I'd better not take that. Seeing as the Cavalier's got 4 brand new winter tyres on it, and we fixed the fuel leak the other week, may as well take that instead. Oh, and we're going to go and look at a Vectra which is in Luton, and it's very cheap. It's cheap for a reason. So seeing as it's nearly December, I've decided to put the winter tyres on. Fresh set for the Cavalier this year, which are Goodride SW608s. I don't usually bother with budget tyres, but there's very little choice in this size, 195/60/14, and I had the Goodrides on before, 35 quid a corner, and they lasted 3 winters perfectly well. Found them really good in the snow, so aye. Right, let's go and pick up Steve the photographer. I think you seem to quite like these in-car driving shots as well. Should be a nice run for it with its new tyres on it, with the wheels all balanced up. And what else did I do to it? Oh, I did a fuel burn on it last week as well, so it should be nice and quiet and smooth. Not to mention the fact it's about 10 miles to the gallon better than the Omega, which is going up for sale. I'll probably mention that in a couple of other videos, but it's just not going to get used enough, and it's a beautiful, comfortable car with so much space in it. It'd be great for somebody, but I'm just not going to use it enough. So if anybody fancies an Omega GLS 2.5 V6 manual with 23,000 miles on the clock, please do get in touch. Well, we'll go for a second, but we'll have a bit of Cavalier Reading. And let's have a bit of cruise control. Can't beat it. This car's going to rack up well over 1,000 miles in the next 24 hours. And it will do it perfectly. Right. I'm going to take the sneaky wee shortcut, which I tend to use more often now they've put the 20 limits in everywhere, because you get stuck behind somebody doing a 20 all the way through Iveco, and that it's a right pain. See, this is a 30. Although you'd be hard pushed to do 30 down it, the surface is that bad. And there are quite often pedestrians on it as well. Don't think there's anybody else coming down. No, we're all good to go. There's a bridge down here. This bridge is 9'3". So if you're in a lorry, you really don't want to come down here. Jimmy, oh, let's get out in front of this Corsa. Oh. Can you beat it? You'll find that a Corsa D will either go down this road at about 30 mile an hour, or if it's one with stripes up the middle, sit right in your bumper. myself on YouTube videos. The car definitely wants to spin its wheels a little bit more at the moment with those winter tyres on, but they aren't brand new, so... See, the gritters have been out already. The road's absolutely covered in it. Oof. But I'll say one of the best and most important things you can do for your car is to put winter tyres on it. The difference when it's icy and cold and in the snow is like night and day. You will not believe how much better it is. People will think your car is four-wheel drive. That's how much better it will be in the snow, but it's not just that, it works in generally lower temperatures. And even a set of budget winter tyres will outperform a set of top brand summer tyres when it's round about freezing. Notorious for driving very slowly down it. Green light here. It's not often you'll get through there on a Thursday afternoon at this sort of time. Lockdown must be working. You'll often find that they reduced the speed limit on that road to 50 miles an hour, and the people that were doing like 30 miles an hour it didn't affect anyway, and the nut jobs that were driving up at 80 miles an hour it didn't affect them either. So it's just more pointless signage. So 20 miles an hour all the way through Blackburn, this big wide road here. Now it should be 20 when the schools are kicking out, but it just doesn't make sense to have the speed dropped so low in so many areas like this. Loads of people are ignoring it. My speedo overreached slightly, so right now, even though we're reading 25, I am actually really only going 20. Oh, I got down here last night, the car park was absolutely mobbed. It was full of vans with people working. Must be working on a project, hence the reason the car's parked squint, because it was the only way I could fit the thing in. But it did well. Really smooth, makes a difference having the brand new tyres on it. It's a bit misty and cold, so I think I shall let it warm up for a while, not to mention dry out. What are we on now? 157,036. Ah, nice set of cold lifters. They go quiet pretty quick though. You cannot beat the refreshing odour of uncatalyzed XE exhaust fumes on a cold morning. You may be wondering what I'm driving. Well, I'm behind the wheel of an Iveco Australis lorry which I'm delivering to Barnsley as part of what I'm up to for Truck and Driver magazine. But on the way I'm going to a garage in Luton and we're going to take a look at a Vectra C Elite 2.2 which is up for sale very cheap because it's in limp mode and the dealer that's selling it can't be bothered to find out what's wrong with it. I happen to have Brian's diagnostic scanner with me so we can see what's wrong with it and possibly purchase it. Getting all modern these days. A Vectra C. But aye, this should be interesting because it's fully loaded. It's got a colour screen sat nav the lot. Hopefully it's something simple. If it is okay, I'll get Pete to pick it up. Cheers, Pete. And he can limp it back to Woking, worst case scenario, and then we'll fix it properly from there, or something along those lines. But that's the general idea. So just need to find out where to park this lorry. Thankfully I don't have a trailer on it. Right, so we're back from England, 947 miles, and I'm now going to run up to Perth to pick up the Foden lorry that I used to own, and we're going to run it up to a truck stop that's needing a bit of support. So a bit of a crossover episode between the cars and trucks, this one, but you know, cars and trucks go together rather well. Smokey and the Bandit and all that. Take the Cavalier again because it's a frosty day and we've got winter tyres on it. Just stopped off for some petrol. I'm not that far away from Stevens, so aye. The plan is get the Foden and take this trailer up to the truck stop, where we'll do a wee interview with the lady, give them some publicity for truck and driver, and also means, well, I get a shot at the Foden because I bought it to be an owner driver with it and ended up never really using it. That's the Cavalier, just rolled over 1,000 miles again. Used 37 litres of petrol to come from Preston up to Bishopbriggs, over to West Calder, and then up to here, and I've not been hanging about, so I think that's not bad. And it's really foggy in some bits, and it comes out and you get some lovely blue skies, so we'll just have to see. This is a good one. That's where the sat-nav's wanting me to go. Oh, I don't think so. So 1.4 miles down here, we'll see if this will get us somewhere without bringing us out at a locked Farm Forestry Commission gate. Quite pretty right enough with the frost in the fields and a bit of blue sky. Oh, it is cold up here. Ah, stupid pheasant out of the way. Well, I found the lorry, couldn't really miss it because it's sitting in the middle of the road. And it's got its trailer on it, so I'm going to run this up the road. And it's nice and sunny as well, lovely. Record. That's when we get some fucking nonsense on. Right, that's us out in the Foden, heading up to Newtonmore Grill, where we're going to meet Barbara. We're on some road in rural Perthshire, but there's no phone signal. Where are we?
The Smag Lane.
The Smag Lane. So we've got a step frame trailer on that we're delivering. Got an old Land Rover on the back. And it's a nice frosty winter's day. There's some beautiful scenery. And it's nice to finally be able to drive the lorry that I bought over 2 years ago and do something meaningful with it. But it's a great thing to drive this. It's got 669,000 kilometres on the clock, which is pretty low for one of these. It's a 450 cat, M&Ox stack, Jake brake, Alcoa wheels on it, tipping gear, air conditioning. Who needs a new lorry? One sits really well on the road, the track's nice and straight, and everything on it just works as it should. When I bought this lorry originally, it was the summer of 2018, and I had intentions of going out and being an owner driver, but then of course I got the opportunity to be editor of truck and driver, so the lorry ended up getting parked up. And pretty much ever since Stephen got a loan at last March, he's been desperate to buy it off me, so I finally relented and sold it to him. Towards Inverness direction. This is like proper Scottish tourist country. The roads are nice and quiet today, which is good.
How's Bonnie when you think this is on the doorstep?
It is, this isn't even too far up.
That's a couple of miles from the house. Amalree.
Glen Quay. I said that right?
Right.
That's us cruising up the A9 now at 50 miles an hour. It's the only road in Scotland where you can do 50 because they still seem to be trialling it for reasons known only to the Scottish Government. But the Foden's running lovely. It's a great thing to sit and cruise along on the motorway or an A road with. Just as good as it is off the road. It does well for a lorry that's 16 coming up for 17 years old. So about half an hour away from the truck stop, just sitting on the limiter, listening to the M&Ox purring away there, quite the thing. Aye, I think you could definitely go to work in this full time, or I could have done anyway if truck and driver hadn't come calling, but it sits well on the road. Like I said, track's nice and straight, nice and quiet. Aye, good. For this,
Run up, you got TV, white bill.
oh aye, here we go up here.
Then the second gate, you can bring yourself, you can reverse it behind the bill. So.
Here we go, Newtonmore. Right, so you reckon go in the far away?
I go in the far away one usually, but all good. Reverse on the good side. Mr. Ross is away.
Here we go. Just go and park in beside these two quarantine baths.
morning, once driven viewers. Sunday morning, and late last night there was a delivery onto my driveway. Not totally unexpected, but it's starting to become a habit now. Let's have a look at it. So here it is. Dougie's bought another vehicle, and yes, that is a towing eye down there. Sort of a runner. We'll get onto that in a bit, but this was a lot of car for the money. I think Dougie paid about 500 quid. This is, as you can see, a facelifted Vectra Elite 2.2 Direct. And this thing would have been serious money when this was brand new. Most likely just demonstrators and some of the company cars that we used, but these were always good looking cars. I mean, especially the facelift as well. Really did bring it in line with the rest of the Vauxhall range. So this was the slightly later engine, the 2.2, the direct injection. So that gave us an extra 10 PS, 155 PS. So despite it being a big old barge, we'd get to 60 in just under 9 seconds, which isn't bad at all, really. So we think we might have a dodgy battery, and also it doesn't look like the right sort of battery to be running a Vectra Elite. There's no fault codes on at the moment, but if we take it around the block, then I have a feeling we might get stranded. But there you have it. What a lot of car for 500 quid, and if we can get it running, it's a pretty tidy example as well. And uniquely, at this point, the car was actually developed for UK roads, which is quite unusual at the time. Normally, the cars were just pumped out. If it works in Germany, it works in the UK. But of course, people know just how rubbish our roads are. I mean, this has got everything. Remote control. Boot, which has got... Oh, it's going to work. Yep, it's got a very small battery on this car. Look at that. There you go. This is just massive. So for me, Dougie, you're going to have to get rid of your Amiga now, because you've got two pretty similar cars. Strangely enough, this was actually the biggest boot space in class, 1,850 litres. I have no idea why I still remember that. I did used to sell these back in the day. But that's properly geeky knowledge, isn't it? So the Elite, full leather. This one's done about 114,000 miles, 115,000 miles. But it's got everything. The CD70 Navi, the climate control. Let's see if it starts. We're expecting to get the EML light. Thinking it might be a fuel pressure regulator. Look at that. Full colour screen. This is the future. Heated seats. The lot. I mean, this is a bargain. If we can get this running, happy days.